Welcome to the Success Insight video, which is a collaboration between Calnet and Alpha Wireless. I'm Tara, Marketing Executive for Alpha Wireless, and joining me today for this discussion from Calnet are Nick Sekulich, who is Director of Operations, and Wayne Hamilton, who is Wireless Operations Manager. So for some background about Calnet, formed in 1997, Calnet is a California-based internet service provider whose mission is to deliver high-speed internet services to rural parts of the state, focusing primarily on areas with over 1 million residences and small businesses that have historically lacked access to adequate internet connectivity. Based in Ballybrittas in Ireland, Alpha Wireless is a market-leading specialist in designing and manufacturing high-performing, innovative antenna solutions. With over 1 million antennas shipped globally, we have more than 15 years of experience helping our clients to design efficient, high-performance wireless networks, especially in the CBRS and 3.5 gigahertz space. Nick, if you could tell us a little bit more about the background and the relationship between Calnet and Alpha Wireless.
With all the companies that we've dealt with to purchase antennas, or honestly, radios or any equipment for that matter, very rarely do you ever speak with the CEO. You speak with the VP of sales, you speak with the sales directors or the regional sales representatives. Fergal picked up the phone, called us, scheduled and answered all of our questions and scheduled to come out on site. And when he got here, biggest smile I've ever met. It was great. He came in with another representative and they sat at our table, opened up their folders, showed us their entire product line. Not only did they show us what they had to offer, but they were asking about what they could create for us. I mean, here's a guy that came out from Ireland to the United States, sitting in our office, and he's asking how to design and build a better antenna for Cal.net, in particular for the frequencies and use cases that we had. That was outstanding. I mean, our mouths were on the table. Just, this is great.
And Nick, how would you describe Alpha Wireless as a partner?
You know, in our industry, when we try and test a quality product and decide it needs to have a place in our deployment model, we move forward knowing that these types of components aren't going to impact our delivery schedule. We know they're going to work. We are very fond of the set it and forget it model, and I think that's very well appreciated in our industry. Alpha Wireless's place in our current and future development is knowing that we are going to get the best, most efficient antennas tuned to the frequencies we use and not have to worry about the little things I mentioned previously. In addition to hardware assets, there's a personal side to the business as well. On a regular basis, our sales reps with Alpha Wireless reach out to us to ensure that we have everything we need. It is easy to become overly busy in our industry with planning, preparing, and deployment, and can be difficult to stay in contact with each entity we work with. We've also found that success isn't something you finally achieve, but it's something you continually strive to carry. Alpha Wireless continues to be a successful partner in our industry by establishing that ongoing communication with us and ensuring our hardware needs are met in a timely manner. We can't express how appreciative we are to work with Alpha and their team of professionals.
Wayne, how did the Alpha Wireless 3161 help you overcome the challenges that you faced?
Well, so we've been using Alpha for years, as Nick was kind of mentioning there, and we were using the 2x2 with our WiMax, the older style 2x2 sectors, and we moved to the AW131 or AW3161 4x4s as we kind of migrated to CBRS, and we're seeing with the 4x4 and the 65-degree beam width, which is narrower than kind of a traditional 90-degree or 120-degree sector. It gives us more kind of focuses our RF energy, and with the 4x4, we're able to penetrate through trees. We live in a kind of a very rural area, and so we've got some outlying customers, that your traditional kind of unlicensed equipment can't get to, and so the Alpha Wireless has really enabled us to get these outlying customers that are kind of ducked down behind trees and give them good service and really penetrate and get to their home with our RF.
And Nick, would you like to comment on how the Alpha Wireless 3161 helped Calnet overcome their challenges?
Initially, I guess our requirements were to roll out a successful WiMax deployment using 365 to 37. with a 5-mile radius of each sector. Well, we upgraded our WiMax network to LTE, and when we did, we reused those same antennas that were out there. Despite careful channel planning, we found that we could only go so far with channel reuse using the 90 to 100-degree sector antennas we were using with other companies. With Alpha's 65-degree antenna, we were able to capitalize on getting the most out of our available spectrum while simultaneously increasing gain to reach our customers with a more stable and reliable connection. That was a really big deal for us, a game changer. Alpha Wireless antennas feel like a much higher quality product, as we haven't dealt with the minor dilemmas we initially faced with the other vendors. And our installation team surely recognizes and appreciates the benefit of simplifying the installation process with the use of quality products.
Wayne, you mentioned earlier that CalNet focuses on areas that have historically lacked adequate access to internet connectivity. So in what locations was the Alpha Wireless 3161 deployed, and what have the results been like?
Well, as far as areas, I'd say mixed actually. We do have some kind of more residential areas as well. We're going down into kind of the Central California area where it is more densely populated, and we're using these same sectors there and having very good success there as well. We can get people, I'd say, further out in those settings just because there's less trees, less obstructions. So we're really able to connect people, miles from the tower. And then we're also deploying them in our more rural areas where it's a little closer to the tower because we have so much obstruction, blocking the RF. But then, like I said, we're able to penetrate. But really, it's just a wide variety of settings that we're deploying these sectors in, and essentially anywhere we're using them, we're happy with the performance.
Wayne, can you tell us about any new deployments that you're using Alpha Wireless antennas for?
Oh yeah, we have. We're using Alpha heavily on our CAF deployments. So we have many towers actually with Alpha Wireless antennas hung on them, but waiting for PG&E, power turnups, and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, we're actively deploying Alpha Wireless for CAF towers. So we have hundreds of towers planned for Alpha Wireless equipment.
And what about CAF2?
It's actually a 6-year program. But yeah, heavy deployment in the first 2 years, which we are coming up on a year right now. And so it's really kind of changed our whole implementation model and deployment schedule. We've really been ramping up and deploying more equipment than CalNet has ever deployed in our history, and activating more towers than we ever have before. And ramping up production, we're looking at multiple towers a month here that we're going to be going live with. So a lot of work and a lot of equipment.
Nick, how does the quality that you experience with Alpha Wireless antennas align with the price?
I think that first and foremost, the antenna price actually was reasonable. It wasn't that they were extraordinarily high. They were about on par with where we wanted to be. Moreover, I guess, was the technology. There was a gentleman that used to work for Alpha. He is now the CTO of Nextlink, Cameron Kilton, who initially turned us on to Alpha Wireless. And he is so technically involved and a trusted partner in the industry that when he comes to you and says, you guys are missing out by using Alpha, by not using Alpha. And we just said, well, tell me more. So he kind of got us interested in it. And with it, we began to learn all of the things that Alpha did that were non-standard with the other companies, such as building custom antennas. We were looking into a TV white space solution, and nobody had a TV white space antenna available. Fergal reached out to us and said, we have them on the production line. How many do you want and when do you want them? And that was a big deal for us. So we ended up getting a couple of antennas to test, and we're currently in the testing process with TV white space as well. So as far as that goes, when you look at price versus quality, we're going to choose quality first and deal with the price later. But Alpha's been very reasonable to deal with, especially with volume discounts.
Wayne, how is Alpha Wireless helping CalNet in their growth plans in California?
Well, we've decided to use Alpha Wireless as one of our primary sector vendors for our CBRS. Actually, it is our primary sector vendor. Coupling that with Nokia, the Nokia RRHs and the BBUs, and we're able to deliver CAF speeds in our CAF and our RDOF areas where we're getting federal grant money to actually go out and deploy in these underserved areas. And I think that speaks, volumes for Alpha Wireless and for the performance if, we as CalNet have decided to use Alpha to achieve these requirements that have been put on to us by the federal government to serve these underserved areas.
Nick, would you like to comment on how Alpha Wireless is helping CalNet to expand?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for us is when we build a tower, you're investing a lot of money, time, resources, and planning into creating a vertical asset. And when that tower gets built, you want to broadcast and make sure that you are reaching every one of those homes, whether rural or suburban, that you can in the most efficient way possible. So when you're broadcasting with Alpha, we've actually found the lobes are much more efficient. They're much more consistent. We can aim it in a direction and rely on what the side lobes are going to look like and how much we could pick up off of that. As to where previously we would do the best possible planning and you go from site to site and you'd have different results. That inconsistency is no longer a problem for us, and that speaks volumes itself.
Wayne, what does using Alpha Wireless antennas look like for your end customer?
Good. I think Alpha. We use the AW1 3061 or 3161, and it's got the 65-degree beam width. It doesn't have a lot of side bleed that we've noticed, so we're able to control our RF really well. Meaning, if we've got, we're RF planning a tower and we have our azimuths and we're picking up these customers, we don't have to worry so much about the customer to the east of the tower picking up noise from the north sector, and which means optimal SNR, so noise to signal ratio, which means better performance, which means ultimately better speeds. They can game, they don't get stepped on by other sectors on the tower. Also, recently we've alluded to the fact that we're using Alpha for our CAF. We actually had to do performance testing on our initial first going live CAF towers, and we were able to achieve the speeds that we need for our CAF testing, and then we had to submit those results to the federal government. Those were approved, and so we were really, really happy to see that our planning and what we're expecting to see from these Alpha Wireless sectors, we are seeing, and we are achieving what we want to see. Also, as I had mentioned before, just the amount of penetration we get with these sectors allow us to get these people that had subpar service with maybe satellite or something like that. We're able to get them this fixed CBRS now. Before it was WiMax. Either way, we were able to get them service that they'd never seen before. People are able to stream for the first time, do Netflix for the first time, and we've really had great just customer feedback and just really happy customers using the Alpha sectors.
Nick, would you like to comment on what using Alpha Wireless antennas looks like for your end customer?
Yeah, and to kind of go on top of what Wayne was saying, with part of receiving the subsidies for being a CAF2 award winner is we're under obligation from the FCC to provide our customers with a certain amount of bandwidth. And bandwidth nowadays is no longer, you're not looking at 5 or 10 megs or even 25 megs. People want 100 megs. You have families of 5 inside their house who demand bandwidth. You have streaming cameras, you got Wi-Fi, you've got PCs, tablets, devices, games, everything. So with that, we have this LTE equipment and its capabilities to offer up to a 200 meg connection. And Alpha, with the efficiency of the antennas, is allowing us to deliver those speeds to our customers. Our customers can rely on a good signal to noise ratio. Anywhere that you broadcast out there, you're going to pick up some kind of interference, even with the best proper channel planning, at least in our experience. So with that, when noise hits one of our towers, having that extra gain to the customer's endpoint makes all the difference in the world. It's a combination of a lot of things, but like I said, we've used this side by side with two other competitors in addition with Alpha. Alpha definitely stands out as the company that we want to go with the service that we need to provide our customers with.
Thank you, Nick and Wayne, for joining me for this discussion today. If you would like to find out a bit more about CalNet, you can visit them on their website at www.cal.net. And likewise, if you'd like to find out more about Alpha Wireless and the unique solutions that we offer, you can visit us at alphawireless.com.